to watch the course overview video, explore D2L and Digication, watch the Pragmatic Inquiry e-portfolio overview, and you should have also read the article on Vincentian pragmatism, all three sections of the About Pragmatic Inquiry in the e-portfolio, and explore the worldview, religious worldviews resources page. So I'll just take a quick look at those again. Vincentian pragmatism, as the article explains, really is a method for systemic change, and it builds from the method of Catholic social action, which is see, judge, and act. But for us, it is more involved. We're going to begin, explore, interpret, decide, act. But as you'll see, this builds on the method of pragmatic inquiry, and it really orients it in a Vincentian framework. You'll notice that in Digication, the e-portfolio is designed with the tabs to follow each of those 5 steps. And you also notice at the top here's the same symbol that you should be very familiar with. And the last thing I asked you to do was to explore religious worldviews. There are a number of resources here: the Compendium of the Social Doctrine of the Catholic Church, the Catechism of the Catholic Church, and 3 very good resources about religious worldviews. Now, the challenge for our course is to examine the intersection of religious worldviews and how they shape systemic change projects. Which brings us to the Begin Attentively tab and the baseline reflection. Here is the first assignment after you've created your e-portfolio. And this is to establish a baseline, which then is going to be the basis of the rest of the quarter. So this has 5 questions. And the first one is, as you move forward, what social need, problem, issue, opportunity would you like to address? And this could be anything, but it should be something that you care deeply about, that you have thought about for some time. It may take you a couple times to arrive at this, and that's okay. You can always begin again. But it should be something that will drive your research and your learning for the rest of the quarter. The second question asks you to identify what challenge, question, barrier, problem, or issue do you face in meeting that need. So, for example, I could focus on homelessness. And the challenge or the question, the barrier, why are so many people homeless, for example, or hungry, or why are people poor? It could be any range of things. The third dimension of the baseline is your preliminary answer. So we don't just ask open-ended questions. We have some idea of a solution. And it's important here to articulate what your best guess is at a possible solution. This could be a public policy response, it could be a corporate response, it could be any range of responses, but be sure to capture that in question 3. The fourth question is to articulate the values that are driving both your the identification of your challenge question and the potential solution. Your values are what focused your attention in the first place. So try to get this down. The language you use will probably change over the course of the quarter, and that's why it's important to capture this up front. We're going to ask you at the end of the quarter to reflect on how that has changed. And lastly, are you doing anything about it? What are you doing now about it? Maybe it's something that you've thought about for a while and you want to do something about, but you just haven't had a chance yet, or you haven't known what to do, or maybe it's something you've been working on for weeks or months or years. But it's important to connect how your action derives from your values, which responds to some baseline questions. So in a nutshell, those are the 5 baseline questions. It may take you some time to just jot down your thoughts, on a blank sheet of paper. And you can do that in a notebook or wherever you want. But just be sure that whatever response you put in here is your most polished response at the time. And that should cover it for now.